Hello everyone and welcome to today's stream. So, very exciting news. Happy to be live here in about 16 minutes. Of course, roughly here, we are going to see Bitcoin in the halving. So very, very cool. Low Roller, nice to see you here. You said Bitcoin halving is already complete. Maybe the crypto.com calculator here is a little bit behind, but I've been going with this one. I can check the nice hash one as well, but yeah, it does say that it did finish there on here on Nice Hash. But hey, either way, happy to be live. Figured I would do a little bit of a live stream here, just taking a look, at what's kind of going on in the crypto markets. Of course, today being the day that a lot of people have been waiting for, with Bitcoin having most likely going to, start the next Bitcoin bull run, the next crypto altcoin season, things like that. So went ahead and just came over to here. Last Bitcoin happened April 19th at probably about 8:09, so a little bit after, but hey, it is what it is. I think we still have a lot of time left, before we start to see any major price movements. But with that being said, the Bitcoin halving, I think it's a really big deal. Traditionally, we've seen a lot of, price movement, price action after the Bitcoin halving, and that's usually, 5, 6, 7, 8 months later. So, maybe by the end of this year is kind of what I'm personally expecting for a Bitcoin bull run. But, of course, that might happen sooner. It's very hard to tell. We've seen Bitcoin already cross its all-time high from 2021. Very, very cool. Low Roller, you said Bitcoin drop as low as 59K this week. Yeah, I mean, that's very possible. If it does, I don't think that's anything to be concerned about. Of course, Bitcoin does drop quite often, but it looks like, there we go, it updated the Bitcoin block here, 840,000. So yes, Bitcoin has officially halved. The new block reward is no longer 6.25. So that's going to put it right around 3.1 something, with the regular reward for Bitcoin. So it's going to be a lot harder to get Bitcoin, and of course in the past this has resulted in new all-time highs, which, as we've already crossed that. This year we've seen Bitcoin cross over into the 70,000 range, so I think we definitely have that coming back later on. Of course, if it doesn't happen this week, if it doesn't happen tonight, nothing to be too concerned about. But Low Roller, you said, when is the next Bitcoin halving and date? Pretty much what you can just say is it's probably going to be about the same time in 2028. It happens every 4 years, so I would assume early 2028, April, May, maybe up in March, just depending on how the blockchain's running. But we won't see another Bitcoin halving for another 4 years, and usually this is pretty much how the cycle runs, is, we'll probably have 1.5 to 2 years of really, really good profits, gains that we see across the board, not just with Bitcoin, but in a lot of altcoins, similar to what we saw in 2021. And then, say, right now is April of 2024, maybe by, July to, maybe December, the second half of 2025, we'll start seeing prices drop back down. And, I think that discourages a lot of people from crypto, but that's one of the best times to be investing, to be collecting, when prices are lower. So, real quick, it does look like we have 6 people here in the stream, so thank you so much for joining in. If you haven't already, feel free to leave a comment in the chat. Always happy to answer any questions, talk about any topics related to crypto, provide my thoughts on things. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Bitcoin Tips to stay up to date on all things crypto. But as you can see here, Bitcoin has officially halved. It is predicted around 832, but it looks like the zero block remaining, according to many different calculators here. Bitcoin halving on Nice Hash. The coin market cap here says it already happened, so very cool. I think we are going to start to see prices move up in the near term, as we start to see a little bit harder of a block to find. Of course, that was probably a bad way to say it, but the block is still the same amount of, kind of difficulty, but it's not going to pay as much, so it's going to be a lot harder to earn as much crypto. You're going to have to basically mine twice as long or double your hashing power right now to continue earning the same amount, and even then that would mess with the difficulty, so it's pretty hard to do that. But Low Roll, you said my Spell tokens took a big hit this week. Yeah, I know crypto's been down a little bit the last couple days. Today it's up slightly, but that could just be some excitement around the Bitcoin halving. But again, if it's a solid coin, I wouldn't be too worried about it. There's a lot of profits still to come. I wouldn't be too concerned seeing things drop right now. George, nice to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see another familiar name here in the chat. But we're pretty much just kind of chatting here, kind of a similar AMA type live stream. For anybody who is new, feel free to leave a chat in the live comments. Always happy to talk about anything related to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin halving and things like that. So definitely happy to address any of those, and figured we'd be on live here for maybe a half hour or so and see how prices move. But just figured with the big event today, looking very interesting to see. Of course, now crypto.com is reporting a -2 blocks until the Bitcoin halving, so very nice to see that there. But yes, big exciting day here in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Like I said, traditionally in the past, we've seen, this kind of activity kick off the next bull run. So very, very excited to see how that plays out. Low Roll, you asked George if he was able to fix the stuck Bitcoin transaction. And Jamal, nice to see you here. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see some new names. If there is any questions or anything you are interested in hearing about, definitely feel free to leave a chat in the live comments. Always happy to answer any questions. But let's see. Low Roll, you said Ton Coin. I think that's Ton Coin. I think it's right here, to pass Dogecoin. Yeah, that's definitely possible. They're pretty close. Dogecoin's only about $2 billion ahead. So, I don't know anything about that coin, but definitely nice to see it, kind of moving up. And I think, with a lot more popularity in some of these altcoins, I think that's going to also help to fuel the Bitcoin price as well. So I know there's been a lot of crazy price predictions out there, but I do think a 6-figure Bitcoin price is in the near future. So very, very cool. We will just have to kind of wait and see what happens with it, but I definitely think that's something that could be possible. I'll go ahead and shrink this guy down just a little bit into the top corner. I figure we can leave it up there, even though it is off, or the halving has already taken place, but I'll leave it up in the corner there as well. So let's see. Low Roll, you said, what coin are you mining now? Good question. I am currently mining Solana coin using Unminable. So I did switch off of the Matic coin over to Solana and have been mining that for only a few days now, but that's the coin that I'm looking to collect a little bit more of at the moment. Of course, we did do a YouTube video here recently on the Cat with Hat coin, which is a new meme coin that I've, gotten into a little bit. Its symbol is CWIF. It seems like a promising coin. It's a deflationary cryptocurrency. If you missed the YouTube video, essentially there's a 4% burn on all transactions, whether it's exchange or sending it back and forth. And they've already burned well over half their supply. So, as they continue to burn these coins, I think there's a very strong possibility that this could drop off a few zeros and, really move up in price. So that's pretty cool as well. But that runs on the Solana chain. That's the kind of how I got to there from mining Solana, but definitely check that out. So let's see here. Low Roll, you asked George how long it take to fix the transaction, and said Toncoin already passed Dogecoin and CoinMarketCap. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of movement on the top 100, especially, as you start to get down a little bit more into the lower market cap coins. But hey, that's fine. It is what it is. We'll just have to see what happens with We'll just have to see what happens with all the cryptocurrencies here now that Bitcoin has halved. So yeah, we can jump back over to the main coin market cap here, but George, you said from November 5th to April 5th, over 6 months, you said you sent $200 and got over 500. Hey, I don't know where you were sending the Bitcoin to, what the goal was with it, but, hey, you're coming out ahead. If you were planning to sell it back then, yeah, it definitely sucks that you had to wait that long, but at least you got a little bit out of it by, just having it held and watching it go up in value a little bit. So I guess you got to look for that positive on it. But low roll, you said I heard, I assume that was supposed to be the cat with hat or cat Wi-Fi. I don't know if that's a different coin, so let me look here. I'm guessing you were talking about this one, cat Wi-Fi. Coin pull, rug pull. You heard the news that, yeah, I haven't heard anything about this one, so if this is the coin you're talking about, I'm not familiar with this one at all, but yeah, there's a lot of meme coins out there that can do that. The cat with hat coin, it's like I said, always do your own research. It's just something that I found kind of interesting, with the, price and possibility for it to go up in price, mainly because of the fact that it's a deflationary, kind of deflationary coin there. So, OD, nice to see you here. He said slow transaction equals forced holding, hodling. Yeah, that's definitely true. Hey, like you said, you hate to see it stuck in the blockchain, but at least you knew it was going to get there, and took a little longer than you were probably hoping for, but hey, you're coming out ahead. You more than doubled the money for whatever you were planning to do with it, and hopefully you were still able to use it how you originally intended, even though having to wait. But low roller, you asked George here, you need to pay a higher Bitcoin, or I guess said to George, you need to pay a higher Bitcoin fee to have faster transaction. And George said you only paid 85 cents instead of $8.50. Well, hey, I guess it's up to the individual whether or not that's worth it. You saved, $8 on your transfer fee and earned $300 in it being stuck and just having to hold it. So definitely really interesting. But yeah, of course, Bitcoin's, can be good, can be bad when it comes to sending transactions back and forth. So glad to hear you were able to get it finally, and hopefully you were able to still use it for how you originally intended when you sent it. But low roll, you said the Bitcoin fee will get more expensive this bull run. Yeah, I think that's definitely true. With the profitability of miners being cut in half, right now today, you're gonna see some people stop mining. I think just because maybe they're mining with older hardware that isn't as profitable, and without the fees going up, they're going to be out, maybe not even profitable anymore. So you're going to see a lot of, kind of shake up in possibly the difficulty, the amount of mining power out there. And, of course, the transaction fees, I think, will start to go up as well to try and compensate for the reduced, Bitcoin that's being minted on all of the blocks. So definitely very interesting, but we'll just have to kind of wait and see. And of course, some of that does rely on the volume of coins being traded, being sent, things like that. The more that's having that happen, of course the fees will be a little bit higher, mainly just because the the network's a little bit more congested, more things going on, and with that comes higher fees for people who are trying to avoid what happened to George there, getting their coins stuck, saying, hey, for me it makes more sense to go ahead and send over, a $10 fee instead of a $5 fee, just to make sure it gets there in a reasonable amount of time. So definitely interesting. But George, you said, did you have to pay taxes on all of the mining? Yes. Short answer is yes, of course. Mining, faucets, cloud mining, all of that is income. So answer to that is yes. But hey, it's one of those things. But hopefully with the bull run coming, or hopefully with the halving happening, that causes a bull run to start, and can really start to see some good profits in the coins that have been mined. You know, of course, some of the meme coins have gone up quite well again. You know, I certainly would like to see Dogecoin cross that $1 mark. Don't know if it ever will, you know, this bull run at least, but you know, it did really well last time, so we'll have to, of course, you know, wait and see what happens with it. But Low Roll, you asked, did Fire Faucet add new coins? They did not. I haven't heard anything about them adding new coins. You know, I think they've been doing pretty well with the 12 that they have on there. So yeah, they're you know, when looking at Fire Faucet compared to some of the other sites like the Dutchy site, you know, Fire Faucet, in my opinion, pays much higher. Even though there's less coins, you're not going to be able to earn some of the meme coins. You know, of course, Dogecoin's on there, but that's about it from a meme coin perspective. But you know, with that, you know, it's you know, a little bit easier to you know, earn more there just because they have a higher payout rate. So, you know, I think Fire Faucet's a great site. The Dutchy site's great as well, you know, especially given all the choices that you have for the different faucets. But let me switch this back over here. Just this might look a little bit more interesting. But and you asked, did I take any quizzes to earn free crypto on Coinbase? I have not done anything with Coinbase in many, many years. You know, I used to have an account a long time ago. I'm sure it's been closed down now. You know, I have not done anything with Coinbase in a very long time. So answer to that one is no, I have not. I know there are different exchanges out there that do, you know, like crypto education type things to earn free crypto, but yeah, I've never really gotten into any of those, you know, mainly just for tracking all of that. But Low Roll, you said, I heard Dogecoin 7-year cycle history said Dogecoin to reach $40 in the next bull run, 2028 to 2029. Hey, that would certainly be pretty crazy. You know, $40 I think is pretty excessive. You know, I think in that case we'd probably be seeing Bitcoin close to 10 million plus per coin. You know, strictly looking at their market cap here, you know, if you were to take the 143, 955, 116, 384 times 40 at $40 a coin, that puts them at a $5.7 trillion market cap. Now, for context, right now Bitcoin at $63,000 is 1.2 trillion. So yes, I think we would need to see Bitcoin at least 10x, if not 20x, for that to even be possible. So yeah, $40, I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for that one. You know, unless you're a firm believer that Dogecoin is going to be the crypto of the world and going to overtake Bitcoin and things like that, which, hey, you know, it could happen. You know, this is just, you know, kind of baselining it. But, you know, of course, a $5.7 trillion market cap would be pretty crazy. So, and that's, of course, you know, Dogecoin minting, I think it's like 10,000 new coins every block. So you got to take that into account as well. You know, this is not nowhere near where it would be in 4 years. You know, it's going to be much higher than that. So something to think about. But George, you said, I think Simple Bits and Final Faucet are the best for me. Yeah, Simple Bits is another really good one. I should do an updated video on that. I haven't used that site in a little while, but yeah, Simple Bits is a really good one. And yeah, the Final Auto Faucet is pretty good as well. You know, they've got a ton of different ways to boost your earnings over there that, you know, if you're really committed to diving into the website, learning about Space Token, learning about, you know, the different daily bonuses they have, the different contests they have, offer walls, things like that. And of course, the leveling bonus, you can really multiply your crypto earnings quite a bit if you use the site pretty often, and use it correctly. You know, you can go on there and claim and start earning right away, but you won't be earning your max potential if you just set up the faucet and leave. So that one requires a little bit more, but still definitely much less work intensive once you get it all set up and understand it. Low Roller, you said, will Bitcoin reach $1 million in 2028? You don't know. You know, of course, no one really knows. You know, I think it's very possible. You know, who knows? It could be possible for it to reach that here this year. You know, it just depends on what's going on, how many new people are coming into the coin, and how the Bitcoin halving affects things. So, Personally, for me, I don't know that it'll happen this round. I'm expecting the absolute top to be 250,000. If it got up there, that would be awesome. But I would say more realistically, probably 100 to 150,000 would be my guess. But of course, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. And Lowroy, you said Dogecoin print 14 million new coins per day. Yeah, exactly. So getting a $40 coin, if you did 14 million times $40, that's $560,000 a day in market cap added just because it's being minted. So yeah, while $40 would be awesome to see, that would definitely be a really long time in the future. I would say definitely not even the 2028 2029 Bitcoin halving / bull run, things like that. Awesome. Had to grab a quick drink there, but let's see here. Lower, you said Bitcoin 1 million in 2025, so Dogecoin will be $5 or higher. That's again, that's hard to say. Dogecoin making it past a dollar, I think, is going to be extremely hard. And the reason for that is, do I think it could reach a dollar? Absolutely. I have no doubt that Dogecoin could be worth a dollar, but I think the issue you're going to run into is so many people thought that Dogecoin was going to hit a dollar in 2021, and it never did. So if it did this time around, you're going to see it hit a dollar, $1, 1 penny, all of that, and you're going to start to see a lot of selling, because I think a dollar is a big kind of point where people say, if it hits that, I'm going to sell. And that's going to drop the price down, and maybe it'll drop it to 97, 98 cents, and it'll, go back up. But I think $1 is going to be a very big resistance for Dogecoin. Now, of course, if it, blows through a dollar all the way up to, 125, 150, then yeah, it's possible. Again, a $5 Dogecoin, I think, is pretty unrealistic right now, even if Bitcoin was to be $1 million. Mainly just because that would put Dogecoin so much higher, to really see it. If you looked at things proportionately, which is not, of course, how it would always happen, if Dogecoin was to increase in market cap, in theory, so would XRP, so would USDC, so would Solana, so would Binance, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all of that money has to go somewhere. So yes, you could see Dogecoin go up in price, but you're also most likely going to see all these other coins go up in price, and that's just money that isn't going into Dogecoin, causing it to be a little harder for it to raise in price. So, it's definitely possible, but I think it's very, very unlikely. So again, I wouldn't hold your breath waiting for it. George, you said, have you made any withdrawals from Roller lately? I'm assuming you're talking about Roller Coin. I have not. The last one that I did was a couple months ago, and I think I talked about it here on a stream. It was a very long, painful, drawn-out process to get that withdrawal. And really, unfortunately, it kind of, made me not really want to use the site anymore. It did eventually pay out. In all fairness to the site, I did get paid, but it took almost 2 months to get my Bitcoin payment, and there was never really an answer given as to why it took so long, and I do believe that really the only reason it got sent was because I was emailing and messaging support every day in the Discord and through their email, and eventually it just showed up. So I don't really know what the issue was. I don't know if it's the same for Dogecoin, for Solana, for any of the other coins on there. I happened to have some Bitcoin and thought, let me go ahead and withdraw it. And it was a decent amount. It was maybe $100 in Bitcoin. Nothing crazy, but, enough for it to be worth reaching out on a daily basis to get it to go through. So, very, very strange. I don't know why it took so long. I did see some other reviews online saying people were having the same issue. But in that case, I really don't know why it was such a, kind of aggressive process to get that to, kind of work. But you were asking here if we could do a Roller Coin. Oops, that's a incognito tab, so let me do this. Let's see. I'm guessing it's going to make me sign in here, and I do think Litecoin is offered on the site. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not signed into my account right now, so keep that in mind as well. But either way, that's one of those, I do know Litecoin, I believe, was on the site. So to answer your coin there, yes, Low Roller, you should be able to use Litecoin. And I didn't mean to skip some of the chats there. So OD said sale pressure would be 99.9 cents. Yeah, that's very true. I think we're going to see a lot of people, selling as Dogecoin approaches $1. Low Roller, you said, remember Dogecoin 10 cents for the first time. It shocked the world. Dogecoin keeps pumping and going crazy. Yeah, I think, I know I definitely was pretty surprised. I didn't think Dogecoin was ever going to be, as expensive as it is right now. And, of course, now it's significantly cheaper than it was a year or so ago, or, well, 2 years ago. But hey, it's one of those coins that, continue to hold on to it, continue to collect it. It's easy enough to get from faucets, mining sites like Unmineable. You can start mining Dogecoin using a Windows computer in less than 10 minutes. I have a great tutorial video if you're not familiar with that process, but it's a good one to have, and it could, like you said, Low Roller, shock the world again and really blow past $1, maybe up to 2 or 3. That would be awesome to see, but we'll just have to kind of wait and see how it plays out. And to get to your Litecoins there, your Litecoin question, Litecoin does pay faster in Rollercoin. The issue is on Rollercoin, I had earned Bitcoin, and you don't exchange it on Rollercoin. You either exchange it into the RLT token to spend on the site, or you withdraw it. So unless they've added an exchange feature in the last few weeks since I've been on the site, you had to get paid out in Bitcoin or spend it and keep it in the site through the RLT token. So yes, if you were seriously looking to pay, and Low Roller, to provide a little bit of extra context there, it was not a Bitcoin transaction issue. It was a Low Roller releasing the transaction into the blockchain issue, because the way Low Roller works is you request a withdraw, and from, at least according to their website, they do a manual review of the withdraw. So for whatever reason, it took a month for me to get through to support and say, like, hey, what is going on? Your website says 7 to 10 business days. So I was fair. I waited 7 to 10 business days. I may have even given them a few extra days, and I reached out and said, hey, my crypto's not moving. Like, what's the deal? It just said pending on the site. There was no transaction ID, anything. And then, finally they said, hey, we had some website changes. We're going to refund your money back to your account. Just reinitiate the withdrawal. So I said, hey, that's fine. I understand sometimes websites go under maintenance. There's different things that go wrong. I'll just redo the withdrawal. 7 to 10 days, I should get it. Well, 6 weeks later, it finally showed up. They gave me a transaction ID, and within 15 minutes maybe it was in my wallet. So once it was in the blockchain, it got there just fine, because I paid a decent fee, whatever they were charging at the time. But like I said, I don't really know what the issue was. I don't know if it was because it was Bitcoin specifically, or if something was happening with Rollercoin, but it is what it is. I got paid. Like I said, to be fair to the site, they held up their end of the agreement, but not so much on the time frame. So Low Roller, you said, I heard a person purchased $45 million worth of Dogecoin yesterday. Hey, that's definitely crazy. I certainly hope for him and the rest of us, that it goes up. And George, you said, that's why I mine Matic. Yeah, maybe it is just an issue with Low Roller not Low Roller, but Roller Coin and the Bitcoin payment. Again, if it's too expensive or too hard, too complicated, whatever, then you shouldn't offer it. And really the issue, because I see Low Roller, you said, so you stopped using Roller Coin. I wouldn't say I've stopped using it, but I am not actively using it. So I didn't close my account or anything, but of course, with the nature of the site, you do have to log in every day or every 2 days or something to energize your miners. The big issue, in my opinion, with that experience was the fact that support, the Discord community, nothing like that, none of them ever said what the issue was. which seemed very odd to me. I was able to provide the account ID, the withdraw ID, stuff like that, all Rollercoin specific stuff, but they never said like, oh, hey, we messed up, it's our bad, we misplaced your transaction, and it's in our queue to be reviewed and sent. If they said something like that, it's like, hey, that's fine, some things got busy, whatever, but when you have to constantly reach out to a support team, requesting the payout, and I had been reaching out just about daily through the website, as well as through the Discord, and I remember I believe it was a Friday, or it was a Thursday afternoon, because the support team where I am, their afternoon, or my afternoon was their morning, so I was reaching out. The guys gave the same answer, it's loading, it'll be there soon, and that next Friday morning, I had a transaction ID and then ended up getting paid, where I was, that Friday, if I got the same answer, was ready to give up on the site. It wasn't going to pay me out. I've never... and I told the support people, I said, I've never been in a crypto site, and after, almost 10 years doing cryptocurrency and different sites and things like that, I've never been in a site where you don't get paid for almost 2 months and then suddenly get paid. There's never been a site, this would be the first time I've had a site that's taken 2 months to get paid and it not be a scam site. So I no longer invest a ton of time into the site. The profitability of it's gone down quite a bit, and that's just kind of the case for it. But it is what it is. Like I said, in all fairness to the site, it is, in my opinion, it's still working. I don't know why it took so long to get paid, and it sounds like, George, you've been able to get paid in Matic pretty easily, which is awesome. I certainly hope it's still profitable for you, and you don't run into any of those issues. But that's kind of my update on Rollercoin there. But you said, our low roll, you said Elon Musk is the key to helping Dogecoin reach $1 per coin or higher this bull run. I think it would be helpful, but I don't think he is the key. He's not really involved in crypto as much, at least not like it was a few years ago. Very public, very, vocal about Dogecoin, things like that. Now, if Dogecoin did suddenly spike up to 50, 60, 70 cents again, and he started promoting it a little bit, talking about it, things like that, then yes, I think it would definitely be a big help. But I think we could get there without his input as well. But and you said you're waiting for Twitter payment for Dogecoin to help Dogecoin for $40 in 2028. Yeah, you need to see something major like that start accepting payments on a wide scale for Dogecoin to move up in price that much. But hey, like I said, it's very possible to have it happen, but we'll have to wait and see. So. And real quick, it does look like we have 7 people here in the stream, so thank you so much to everyone who has joined. If you haven't already, feel free to leave a chat in the live comments, say hello, ask any questions about cryptocurrency, share your thoughts on where you think some of your favorite cryptocurrencies are going to go price-wise for the next bull run. Of course, Bitcoin has officially halved this evening, so prices are, the amount of Bitcoin that you're going to get per mining a block is much lower. It's about half. That's where the halving comes from. So we're going to start to see a bull run most likely. And yeah, I did see that 9 people popped in briefly there. So again, welcome to everybody who is new. Please feel free to leave a comment, say hello, ask any questions, things like that. But definitely great to see some more people in the stream. Now that Bitcoin has halved, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more price movement. And of course, with price movement in cryptocurrency comes new people joining the community. So if you aren't already, feel free to subscribe to Bitcoin Tips. We have a lot of great content coming on mining different cryptocurrencies, altcoins, as well as some of the major cryptocurrencies as well. So if you're looking to learn more about mining, collecting free crypto from faucets, cloud mining, things like that, do make sure you subscribe to Bitcoin Tips. But probably going to get ready to wrap up the stream here in just a little bit. So if you do have any last questions, comments, things you want to see here on the channel, anything like that, please feel free to leave a chat about it. Low Roller, you said the wars caused Bitcoin to crash earlier this week. Yeah, there's a lot of things that can cause cryptocurrency to crash. That could be one of them. I don't follow that super closely, but I do know that recently, the regular stock markets have been down quite a bit. So, as much as we'd like to say it isn't tied directly to crypto, they do kind of pull on each other. So when things start to go down on one, usually you see it on the other, more so with the stock market going down compared to crypto going down, versus, crypto kind of does whatever it wants. But so, nothing too concerning. Again, Bitcoin's just have down today. So I personally don't expect to see any major price movements for another 4 to 6 months. If it happens before then, that's awesome. But I also wouldn't be surprised, like you said, Low Roller, that could make Bitcoin crash, and then, we'd start to see it move up in the future. So we'll just have to see what's going on. It's one of those things, but I think the major event that historically every 4 years has kicked off a bull run has officially happened. It's just a matter of time now. Continue mining, continue collecting, and just building those holdings, so that when it does get here, you aren't sitting around saying, man, I wish I was collecting from faucets, I wish I was mining, things like that. But next live stream, I'm not sure, maybe sometime next week, just depending on the upload schedule and things like that. So I will be sure to schedule it and things like that. But yeah, Dogecoin day tomorrow. We'll have to see what happens with it. Should be interesting. And George, yeah, sometimes you think Bitcoin will go up, sometimes you think it'll go down, and it just does the exact opposite. So it's very hard to predict. Like I said, the kind of prediction of the next bull run coming after a Bitcoin halving has quite a bit of data to back it up. But some of those random things that maybe we haven't seen it as much, since Bitcoin's been real popular, you think it's going to go up and it ends up going down. So I know that's happened to me a while or a lot here in crypto, but it's just part of it. So like I say, always kind of keep collecting, and if the prices get to a spot where you're happy selling, then definitely take that definitely take that profit. But again, real quick, I see we have 7 people here on the stream, so getting ready to wrap up in the next few minutes. If you do have any questions, things you want to hear about, feel free to leave a comment, say hello, and make sure you're subscribed to Bitcoin Tips. But Low Roller said the altcoin season to start later this fall, and yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. I think it'll be later this fall or even into early next year. That's completely normal. I think that's what we've seen in the past from a timeline perspective. So I think you're spot on there with where we'll see crypto prices. And George, you said Coinbase has been doing a lot of commercials during NBA playoffs. That should bring in new people. Yeah, I know they have a pretty big advertising budget. I think Coinbase does as well. Of course, being a publicly traded company, that helps. But yeah, I think people learning about crypto.com, going to it, learning about Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, of course, they've got a pretty good array of tradable altcoins too. So, I think it is just really a matter of time before we start seeing more people talk about it in, everyday life, and, start seeing more money funnel into these different cryptocurrencies, mainly kicked off by this Bitcoin halving. So, super cool. Again, thank you to everybody who joined in. I know this was just a quick little live stream, of course, with the Bitcoin halving happening this evening. Very excited to see where prices go. And if you aren't already, again, please consider subscribing to Bitcoin Tips so that you can stay up to date on all things crypto and see where everything goes over the next few months. Low Roller, you said, are we going to follow the 2017 or 2013 cycle bull run since Bitcoin went up 15 to 20x these cycles? I am not sure. Again, it's hard to say. Do I think Bitcoin would go 15 to 20x? That's quite a bit. It's possible. It's happened in the past, but I am expecting it to be closer to what we saw last cycle, if not a little less, because again, you have to think, going 15, 20x from, a couple $100 to 10,000, 20,000 is definitely impressive, but it's much harder to go from 15x of $63,000, whatever the last all-time high was. If we put in just 65 for an easy number, somehow 65,800 got in there, and you multiply that by 15x, that puts it at a $975,000 Bitcoin. Yes, that's very possible, but it's much harder. Whereas last time we saw 20,000 was the previous all-time high, we made it up to 60. So what's that, a 3x there? So even if we did a 3x of 65,000, you're going to see almost a $200,000 Bitcoin, which, like I said, for me, I would think 250,000 would be probably the top for the price of Bitcoin during this cycle, more likely between 150 and 200,000. So I think I said that earlier in the stream, and this kind of aligns to that. So I would say we're probably going to be closer to what we saw in 2021, but I could be wrong. Of course, if there's a lot of extra money coming in, especially with these ETFs, we could start to see it move up quite a bit closer to that 10 to 15 to 20x that we've seen in previous cycles. But awesome. Well, hopefully that provides a little insight for you there, Low Roller. And George, thank you for joining in. OD and Jamal, you were the other two that chatted in. So if you are still here, thank you for participating. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And again, please make sure to like and subscribe to Bitcoin Tips. But thank you so much for watching, and make sure to keep an eye on all things crypto as we start to see the effects of the Bitcoin halving. Thanks, and I hope to see you in the next video.